Good day, thinkers, thought leaders, progressives, and dreamers. I'm Craig the Writer Stewart, and this is So Much to Say YouTube TV. These are my thoughts in my voice on black shit, white shit, gay shit, and everything in between. So Much to Say YouTube TV is the place that you come to learn and grow because we discuss socially relevant things mixed with a splash of humor. If you know you have tissue paper feelings, this probably isn't the channel for you. However, since you're here, I just need for you to do two things. Hit the like button, make sure you hit the subscribe button, and turn on that little bell so that you get the notification every single time that I go live or upload something new. I'll see you soon. Bye.
Hey girl, hey. Hey boy, hey. Hey man. Good day, thinkers, thought leaders, progressives, and dreamers. I'm Craig the Writer Stewart, and this is the Facebook and YouTube live versions of So Much to Say. These are my thoughts in my voice on black shit, white shit, gay shit, and everything in between. What's up, Alicia? What's up, Drea? What's up, Terry, T. Baby, Davis, Monique M, Ty Hopkins, Cassandra's World, Miss Thang 29532, L. Ackland, TT and Josh, the Cute Animal Channel, Kimberly Keaton, Donnell Holt, Donna Brown, Mimi Parker, Diamond, hey girl, hey, 7180, Tavares Timmons, Rainbow Courts, Bianca Alston, my girl Tangi, Miranda, Blue Ivy, hey girl, hey. Blue Ivy, tell your mama to go over to my website and order some books and stuff, and order Words Never Spoken, and then post it on her Instagram and tell her that this is for the kids. Snap for the kids. Snap for the kids. What's up, CC Bellamy, Yvonne, Justin, Marie? Everybody make sure you're seated in the correct section. Those of you that belong in the GED section, please head over to that direction. It's over to the right. Those of you that had some college, head on over to the left. Those of you that have bachelor's degrees, master's degrees, thank you very much, Coretta. She said, hello, Craig and Copper. I got some thank yous. Hold on, I got to grab these. They're right here, though. They're not far. Hey, girl, hey. You know, I like to say thank you, because the people say that you're ungrateful if you don't say thank you. I want to say thank you to my girl, Avonda Barnes in Baltimore, Maryland. She is in my mother's zip code, 21215. She sent me the cutest little note today. Well, she didn't send it today. I got it today. And it had a check in there. Somebody say it was a check in there, niece. She wanted to purchase all 4 books, and she put a little cushion in there, a little extra room. Somebody tapped somebody in the GED section and said it wasn't really cushioned. He just means she left a little room for the shipping expenses. Amen. So, Avonda, I actually called you today, but you didn't answer the phone. I was going to say, hey, girl, hey. Hey, man. Now, I don't guess this is private. She didn't tell me that this was a private note. So I'm just going to go ahead and read it. So hopefully I'm not outing this lady. Amen. Amen. She says, Dear Craig, I want to turn it around so you can see, but I don't want you to see her address. Okay, so like she wrote this letter exactly how you were taught to write a letter in elementary school. You know how you learn how to write a letter and how to address an envelope and all that stuff. Some of y'all missed that day. Y'all were cutting class. But at any rate, her name and address is up in this corner up here. So, and her phone number. So I had called her phone today. I was gonna say, hey girl, hey. And I blocked my number, niece. I hit *67. But she didn't answer. But actually, I think she did answer. But you know how you answer because you think it's a bill collector and you don't say nothing. You just be like, and you wait for them to say something. I think that's what she did. So here she goes. So I ended up hanging up. So she says, Dear Craig, my name is Avonda Barnes, and I am from and live in Baltimore, Maryland. I am 65 years of age. I am Black and a lesbian. She's a lesbiterian, niece. With that being said, hey girl, hey, hey boy, hey, hi niece. So she says, I have got to get a printer, a new one. I have so much to say, but don't feel like writing all of it. So niece, she didn't feel like writing it. So she says, you inspire me. I love your YouTube videos. I don't have, look, her handwriting looks like my grandmother's. Hold on. Look at that handwriting. Look at that handwriting, niece. She writes in cursive. You know, the kids today don't even know how to write in cursive. She says, you inspire me. I love your YouTube videos. I don't Facebook, Instagram, or use any other social media channels. I am just starting on YouTube. Please be patient with me. Then she says, enclosed is a check for, it is for your 4 books and any shipping and handling. If it is not enough, let me know. My number is 410. So then she says, my address is on the check. Thank you for being you. Peace and blessings, Avonda. Now, you know I'm going to keep this, niece. I told you I keep my letters. When y'all send me letters and stuff, I keep this stuff. So I want to say thank you to Avonda. I will be shipping out your books tomorrow, all 4. And I'm going to save this letter so I can go ahead and put this in my little box back here where I keep all my little keepsakes. And then I want to say thank you to, who was this? Somebody sent me a, Celestine Moore down there in Stockbridge, Georgia. Now, her handwriting is so, I couldn't quite make it out. I could understand the date. It says 5/5/2021. And she says, Craig, you're so entertaining, ! At times, you're my mischievous nephew. Other times, you're like a tender soul. I don't know what she's saying after this. Prefers to show his unpenetrable side out of fear of being hurt. I think she says a tender soul and who prefer. Oh, here it is. She says, other times you're like a tender soul who prefers to show his unpenetrable side out of fear of being hurt. I pray you were able to just let your guards down on your birthday. Happy belated, Celeste. Thank you, Celeste. I'm gonna put this over in the box as well. And Celeste sent me a little gift card for Moe's. I had lunch at Moe's today. Thank you very much, Celeste. I surely used your gift card, and it was just enough for what I ate and a meal. I mean, and a tip. Thank you very much. And then this one came from Alice Davis over in St. Louis, Missouri. And she put this up. Look at this little scratch paper she wrote on. She wrote on this little piece of scratch paper. Look. So here's her note. I'm gonna keep this note too. So she says, she wrote me a check, right, for my birthday. And then in the memo, it said, wait, here it is. She says, P.S., cash it before it gets cold. Laughing out loud. So in other words, she wanted me to hurry up and cash her check. So I hurried up and put it on the mobile deposit because I didn't want to risk, it not being there. And then it bounced back from here to St. Louis where she is. But it says, Dear Mr. Craig, it's been a while, but I am back. Had death in my family. She had death in her family May 4th, 2020, last year, November 5th, 2020, and then February 3rd, 2021. Where are my people that play the lottery? Y'all need to play 453 and box it and stuff. But listen, niece, if you hit, you know my cash app, so don't play. So she says, working hard and taking care of my family business. So happy birthday, my YouTube friend. That was very nice. I'm going to keep this as well. But at any rate, niece, I want to talk about Paige from Married at First Sight. So listen, if you don't watch Married at First Sight, this ain't nothing but some Fiji. You may not be interested. But niece, hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button. Now, Anya, if you hit that lottery now, I don't care if it's tonight, tomorrow, next year, and you hit 453, I'm going to need you to break me off over here on this cash app right here, okay? I'm going to be right in court. Your Honor, I told her to play that number. She wouldn't have even played it if I hadn't told her. But listen, I am so sick, Nikki. I am so sick of her and Chris. I watched it last night. Listen, I want to start by saying this. It comes on Lifetime, C. Reeves. It comes on Lifetime. This particular season is set in Atlanta. First of all, I am so sick of her but I want to start from a place of compassion, and I'm going to tell you why. Look at Avonda. Hi, Craig. I am on now. I don't see a call from you. Please try again. So listen, I want to start from a place of compassion because if we're being honest, we're my people that's going to be honest. Put your hand up. If we're being honest, we've all done some dumb shit for love or for relationship or out of hope for a relationship. Am I the only one? I write about it in Book of Jewels. Remember I told you in Book of Jewels, I dated a guy. Justin, you got to start watching it. I'm telling you. Thank you, Linda. I know you got me. Listen, we've all done some dumb shit. And here's what I want to say to you. We're all one bad decision away from making the same poor decision that somebody else made. Let me say it again for the people in the GED section. We're all one bad decision away from making the same poor decision that somebody else made. So I want to start from a place of compassion because I understand she's in her 20s. And you know, your 20s are reserved for you to be dumb. So that's why when people say to me, well, Craig, would you want to go back to your 20s? Only if I could take all of the wisdom and life experiences that I have, right? And so there's no way in the world that I would want to go back without all of this. Amen. But she's in her 20s, and so you kind of expect that. But see, here's the problem. When some of you in your 40s be doing the same dumb shit, you know what I'm saying? When you're in your 40s and you do some of that same dumb shit, right? Look, here's Nikki being self-righteous. No, I don't understand that. I don't understand. Nikki, don't act like that. Because if we dig through your relationship past, we probably did some dumb shit before too. And you probably did some shit that we would be looking at you like, what's wrong with her? She's stupid. You know, so let's look at it from that perspective. So when she came on there, it's like, I think her problem is, it has nothing to do with Chris. I don't think her issue is Chris. I think her issue is her insatiable desire to be in a relationship. You understand what I'm saying? I think she's chasing love because it ain't nothing special about him. He ain't winning their jelly bean contest. Oh, wait a minute. Somebody said I've been dumb over dick too many times. And that's a man that said that. That's a man who said that. Now, I know some of you ladies can admit. Aaron, you should receive your book too. I think you should have gotten your book. I got a notification from FedEx that your book was delivered. But I don't think her issue has anything to do with him. I think she just, and then she's so caught up in this church thing. I don't think God will put me through. Girl, cut that out. Cut that out. God ain't told you to be no fool either. He didn't tell you to be irrational. You understand what I'm saying? Like, he didn't tell you to be irrational. Bianca is raising her hand to the Amen choir. When it comes to love, we've all been the person we said we wouldn't be. Yes, exactly. Bianca is praising her hand to the Amen corner. And so here's Yas said low self-esteem. I think it's definitely some low self-esteem in there. But if I'm completely honest with you guys, I really see a lot of women in her. Like, I really feel like she's a good demonstration. She's a really good example of how a lot of women function. I'm not saying it's you, Nikki. She's the only one saying she ain't never done nothing dumb. Meanwhile, she probably here she go. He said he couldn't get past the face. Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, first of all, he told you he wasn't even interested in you physically, right? And then he went and had this baby on the way. And I think the only reason that I think the only reason that he is now entertaining the thought of being with her is because his ex-fiance had a miscarriage. You understand? You picking up what I'm putting down? Only because the fiance had a miscarriage. But not for the fact that ex-fiance had a miscarriage, he would not be interested in Paige. But my thing is, I really feel like Jessica said she's been delivered. She's no fool no more. But I really feel like she's almost like drawn to pain. It's like she's an emotional masochist. Now, I know that it went over some heads over the GED section, but somebody who craves pain. A masochist is somebody who craves pain. But I think she's an emotional masochist. I write about that in Book of Jewels, niece. You need to pick that copy, pick it up. I'm trying to tell you, I gave y'all some jewels in there. I didn't just call it Book of Jewels for nothing. But I just feel like she's drawn to, she needs to rid herself of that dating pattern. She's stuck in a pattern, and she's, from what I see, it's almost like she's used to men mistreating her. You know how I say all of the time to you guys, you don't have to suffer in order to get to love. You don't have to suffer first in order to get to love. I say that all the time. And I think she's one of those women, or one of those people, because it's not just women, because we just heard Aaron say that he'd been a fool for dick a few times himself. But I think sometimes people think that drama and bullshit comes with being in a relationship. I think we sometimes, because I used to think that. I used to think, well, you know, you have to put up with something. Okay, he got a little toxic the way he argues and shit. He a little toxic the way he argues. Okay, I can work through that. But no, you don't have to put up with that, because whatever you're looking for is also looking for you. I've said this so many times. And Pastor Cal, you could tell he wanted to get up off that couch and just shake her. And it's just like, she's dating at the level of her self-esteem. It must be down here. Her self-esteem must be down here, niece, because this man has told, hold on. How long y'all been in here? Look. The timekeeper. We've been in here for 19 minutes. But I just think that Pastor Cal wanted to get up and go over there and just shake her and just be like, girl, what is wrong with you? This man has been in it. He's just been yo-yoing you. Like, stop letting him yo-yo you. And I just feel like it's one of those things where she just wanted to save face. Not only did she want to save face, but it was almost like her ego was bruised, and she wanted to redeem her ego. I talk about that in Book of Jewels as well. Sometimes when, case in point, LTR, I just told you this story on Patreon the other day. Now, see, if I didn't know my name, somebody, I would have fallen for the okie doke. Because see, sometimes your ego will play that trick on you. Like the person that you want, sometimes when they're not ready for you, or they don't want you at the time that you want them, and then that table turns, and then they come back and they want to talk to you, and you got a new person in your life. Or even if you don't have a new person in your life, you're just like Paige. You're starting to heal, and you're starting to move on, and you're starting to see your self-worth. And then they come back and say, you know what, I want you. Sometimes that ego is what fucks you up. That ego needs to be satisfied. And so you may know in your mind that you don't want to be with that person, and know you don't need to be with that person, and know that it's not healthy to be with that person. But sometimes your ego needs to be stroked. It's like, oh, he does want me after all. So then you go after it because of your ego. But it's just like, girl, what are you? It's just like, why are you even considering him? And like when the white girl, what's the white girl at the end? The white blonde girl, and she's dating the black guy that you can tell ain't got no soul in him. What's her name? I don't know her name. But at any rate, she said to the black girl, Paige, she said, I don't understand why you would have even considered going back to him. Clara, that's it, Clara. Nikki good for something. She ain't gonna tell the truth about her past, but she is good for remembering the names. But yeah, Clara, she said, I don't even understand why you could consider even going back to him. And all I can hope is that when Paige watches this season back, because you know they taped that months ago, all I can hope is that she looks at it and sees the error of her ways. Because I'm telling you, I weep for the woman she is. I literally weep for the woman she is. Because it's just like, girl, you have no self-esteem. And all I kept thinking about is, what is she going to do when she leave there? Like, how is she going to reconfigure, recalibrate how she dates, how she approaches? I can't wait to see this. I I can't wait to see this reunion. Yes, Linda, he told her he couldn't get past her face. He said there was an attraction thing for him, and he wasn't attracted. And it's like, you ain't even handsome. I mean, he ain't ugly, but he ain't, you understand what I'm saying? And I'm just like, but I really want you guys to get this. And the point is, I want you to see yourself in her, even if it's not who you are currently. I want you to see your old self. And it may be who you are currently. You may be one of those people that just doesn't really know your value. And you keep drawing this type of guy in your life, a guy who means no good for you. And I just felt sorry for her. And then when she got up and she followed him out and got in the car when he was crying. And let me just say this. There's a piece of me that believes that he was being sincere in his apology to her, but that doesn't mean that he's ready for her. Just because she can accept his apology, but that doesn't mean that she needs to go with him or be with him, right? So just because he's apologized doesn't mean that, you know, all is well in the world and now you need to go and be with him. No, you're not going to be happy with him. But I was just so disgusted that she followed him out. She got in the car with him. Like, I was so over it. I was just like, and I literally watched it late at night. He is definitely manipulative. But I was watching it late last night and I said, oh, I can't. No, I watched it this morning. I said, I cannot wait to get on this live. I almost jumped on here this afternoon because I really wanted to talk about it this afternoon. But I said, no, I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait. But I was so disappointed in her. And all I kept thinking was, I don't want my nieces to be like this. And I kept thinking like, oh, if I have little girls, I don't want my daughters to be like that. Like, I can't say this enough to you, especially the women that are watching. You have to know who you are. You have to know who you are. And let me move over to Brianna, the black girl who has the Dominican boyfriend or husband. I like them. I like them a lot. And I said this before when we had this conversation about her, and she was saying that she's not trying to, she said, this is who she is. You know, when he said she's bossy, she said, this is who I am, and I'm not going to change that. But see, the thing is, relationships are about growing. It's not about changing. And see, here's the distinction. And again, I know I've said this a few times already, but I talk about this in Book of Jewels. Being able to distinguish between compromising and settling. There's a distinction between those two things. Compromising is her growing so that she minds how she says things. It's one thing to be direct. You can be direct, but it's still how you say things. And she does come off bossy. Now, what I will say to you is, if he said to her, oh, I don't like your hair, you should cut your hair. Oh, you need to lose some weight. That's somebody trying to change you. That's a difference. But if he's saying to you, I don't like the way that you speak to me, that's something that you need to grow through. And I'm explaining that because I know some of y'all, Neffy's a nasty bitch. And I know some of y'all probably talk like that. And you're like, well, if he either going to take me the way I am or no, some things you need to grow through these. Some things you need to grow through. Some things you just, and the point is, when her mom said to her the other week, well, if he can't accept you as you are, then hit the road. But mom, you single. So you really aren't in a position to be giving me no advice. Mom, you're single. So don't be giving me bad advice and then I'm sitting around single with you. And what I feel is that bossiness should have been worked through by her parents and in her friendships, like the people that are around you, like your tribe. Those are the people that should hold you accountable to your ways, right? Now, again, if he's saying to you, oh, I don't like your hair like that, you need to change your hair. Those are things that you don't have to put up with. But if a person, whether it's a man or a woman that you're in a relationship with, and they're telling you, well, listen, I don't like, you're a little bossy. I don't like the way you talk to me. You can work on that. That's something you can tweak. That is something you can tweak. But when they're trying to change who you are at your core, that's something different. That's something completely different. So there's a distinction. And so I feel like her pushing back on that was a wall. That's a defense mechanism. That's a wall. Because she said, well, I was very clear that when I came into this process, I didn't want somebody trying to change me. But no, it's not about him trying to change you. It's about you growing. It's about you growing. Relationships are the place. Hold on. Relationships are the place that we go to learn and grow. And if you're not interested in learning and growing, a relationship is not the place you need to be, niece. And so if you're a person that's single and you've been wondering why you've been single for so long, because there's some areas in your personality, niece, that need to be worked on. There's some areas in your personality that need to be worked on. Or maybe, God has something else planned. Like you may need to be finishing school. Because you and I both know that if you get a man or a woman, you're not going to be focused on school. You're going to pour all your energy into that relationship. No, niece, because see, you haven't learned the art of balancing the two. There's a balance. Some people get into relationships and all of their time, energy, and effort goes into that relationship. And then you can't figure out how to do anything else but the relationship. So there's a reason for it all. But I definitely enjoyed last night's episode. It was really good TV. My heart did weep for Paige, though. Now, let me get over here to this other couple. The pilot, what's his name? In Virginia, and what's his name? I can't think. He annoys the shit out of me. And I almost, she's sliding in here with them kitten heels on, talking about she tipping in late. No, we hear you. we hear you in them kitten heels. We hear you in them kitten heels. But wait, let me go up here to Tangi. I agree too. I think they have a real chance, but the both have some adjusting to do because she can't say shit to Vincent without him getting in his feelings. No, I completely agree. She's talking about Brianna and Vincent. I completely agree. He has very tissue paper feelings. So he definitely needs to work on that. That's something he definitely needs to work on. Okay, yeah, Virginia and Eric. Eric gets on my nerves. He's so weak. And I don't mean like weak as in he's sensitive. There's nothing wrong with being sensitive. He's weak. And you know what he does? And I've been trying to put my finger on it for weeks. And it came to me today when I was watching it. Because when they were sitting there trying to decide whether or not they were going to stay together or not, he went into this whole soliloquy. That's an English term, soliloquy. He went into this whole soliloquy about how he just can't be hurt again. And, I just can't do it. I'm just so terrified that she's going to hurt me. First of all, and I'm going to make this a teachable moment for some of you, because some of you are probably just like that. You cannot visit that kind of burden on the person you're in a relationship with. I'm going to say it again. Don't visit that kind of responsibility and burden on a person, because you make a person want to not be with you. You make a person want to leave because they don't want that awesome task of not hurting you. Because we all know that relationships last for as long as they're supposed to last, right? Some relationships last 5 years, 15 years, 5 minutes. And if you're one of the gays, you might last 5 days. But the point is, you can't try to put all of that responsibility. Oh, I'm so scared you're going to hurt me. I'm going to tell you an example. I have a friend. I have two friends. This was years and years ago. They met through me. I didn't connect them, but they met through me. And one of my friends, he was so terrified of being hurt. And he kept saying that to my other friend. I'm so scared you're going to hurt me. I'm so scared you're going to hurt me. It pushed my other friend away because they're afraid of being the villain. They're afraid of letting you down. Nobody wants that responsibility. And so he's so annoying. Like, I almost wanted her to tell him no, she didn't want to be married to him. I wanted her to say that on the table. I mean, on the couch. But see, the other thing about her is I don't really fully think that she has the emotional maturity to be married. And now, even though we're talking about married at first sight, I'm trying to step on some of y'all's toes too, because see, some of y'all function the same way in y'all relationships. Okay, so a soliloquy, for those that are in the GED section, an act of speaking one's thoughts aloud when by oneself or regardless of any hearers, especially by a character in a play. Yes, he stays on the play. That's why I say he gave this soliloquy. So, but here's the thing. I've never seen Ready for Love. I've heard, Ready to Love. I've heard of it, but I've never seen it. But here's what I want to tell you. Some of you crying, begging, screaming, and praying about being in a relationship. You're ready for somebody, this, that, and the third, but you lack the emotional maturity. Virginia swore she wanted to be married. Then when she got married, she don't want to. You have to move differently. The things that you did when you were single, those aren't things that you can do anymore. Now, I'm not saying that you in bondage, but some of the things that she's accustomed to doing, like spending the night at her friend's house after drinking all evening, like that's unacceptable when you're in a relationship. Whether you're married or not, that's unacceptable in a relationship. Let Carlton tell me he's spending the night at somebody's house because they having drinks. No, you're gonna bring your ass home, and if you're not in a position to drive, then you need to get yourself in an Uber. And if your Uber account isn't up and running, what's the address? I'm on my way to pick you up. Certain things you just see. Some of y'all just difficult for no reason. Love is not complicated. It's y'all that's complicated. Y'all make love complicated. Love ain't complicated at all. You understand what I'm saying? So Chanel said, "Thank you for the definition, Aaron." But but the thing that I want them to realize when I watch this show, again, to me, watching this show, it really is a demonstration for how we all are in real life. We just get to see it. But it's almost like all of these people that are on this show, they're so anxious and ready to be in love and ready for a partner. But then when it's time for them to do the work, they're like, "Oh, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to leave." It's so much easier to walk away. It's so easy to walk away. And so what I say to you, especially those of you that are in relationships currently, one of the things that I have said to myself, I wrote this in my stage play years ago. My worst day in this relationship is better than any single day out there. And you have to remember that. So it's just like, you wanted to be in this relationship, but now that you're in a relationship and it's time for you to roll up your sleeves and do some of the heavy emotional lifting, you no longer want to do the work. Now all of a sudden you want to run because it's requiring you to really push past that fear, to move through that fear that you have, that wall. But anyway, Virginia got on my nerves. Like she was another one talking about she wanted to sleep with the cat. The cat got to sleep in the bed, and this man telling her he allergic to cats. She's talking about, "Well, no, I need to." If you don't get that motherfucking cat up out of this, but first of all, that's nasty. Let's start with that. She said, "Yeah, but he sleeps on my face," and I'm looking at her skin on the TV, and I'm like, that's probably why her damn skin is breaking out. She got that damn nasty ass cat laying all up on her face. Then she got that dog. And can you imagine sleeping in the bed with them, with all them damn animals? Thank you, LS. She said, she said, "I'm going to DM the experts to bring you in as a relationship coach because clearly they were too busy filming the Houston season to help some of these couples." Okay. Look, Durant said, "Speaking of me, because I get scared as fuck and I'm ready to run." See, you can't run though. You can't run. You can't run. See, because if you run today, you'll run every day for the rest of your life, right? If you run today, you'll run every single day for the rest of your life. And some of the things that they're running for, when you look at the show, and if you think about your own personality and your own life, you've probably run for little small, tiny things as well. But if you run because of small things, like, you'll never really fight through anything. You'll never have that longevity that you're hoping for. And I think I shared this guy with you guys before. Tina Lawson, Beyonce's mother, her husband, Richard Lawson, I saw the two of them in an interview one time, right? No one wants to put in the work, right, Crystal? I was watching an interview with Tina Lawson and her husband, Richard Lawson, one time. And he said something so prophetic, so prophetic and so profound to me that I never forgot it. And he basically said, and I've said this on here with you guys before. He says, the only way to get to love is to risk a broken heart. I'm going to say it again. I'm going to say it slow for the people in the GED section. The only way to get to love is to risk a broken heart. Let me give you a very basic analogy. The only way you're going to win that mega million, that's $400 million, is if you play the lottery. But you can't, you don't have a chance of winning if you're not going to play the lottery. It's the same thing with love. Yeah, you run the risk of it not working and, whatever. But the only way you're going to get to love is if you at least try, right? And I just shared with a friend of mine the other day, and I've said this on here before. I don't allow myself to live in that space of fear anymore. I used to. But I think part of the reason that I have gotten to this point, this emotional point, and this is about me, this has nothing to do with Carlton. The reason that I was able to get to this point in an emotional space with him is because I allowed myself. It's had nothing to do with him. Yeah, he made it easy for me to love him, but the fears were still there. I still had fears. I still had previous traumas, previous experiences. I still had relationships that were modeled for me, like the history, like seeing my parents, how they went through their relationship. All of that shit plays a part in how you see and how you move in your relationships. Like the relationships that were modeled for you, like your parents, your aunties, your brothers, or whomever. Like I have a homegirl. She's scared of guys now. She's scared of relationships with men now because she had a lot of male cousins and she watched how they played different women. And so her perception is all men play games. And so she has this thought in her mind. But I don't allow myself to live in that space of fear anymore. In the first book, I talked to you guys about Carrington. That was the first person that I ever fell in love with, this, that, and the third. And I talked about that relationship. I didn't allow myself to love him the way I love Carlton because I was too afraid. I was too busy taking these quick breaths. I would never just breathe the relationship in and just love it and just fully inhale it, right? You understand what I'm saying? I never really wanted to just let it to just embody me because I was so afraid that it wasn't going to work. I was so afraid that it was going to be short-lived. I was so afraid, and I was so anticipating him letting me down. I was anticipating that shoe dropping. You understand what I'm saying? But in my period of singleness, when I was single for those 9 years before I met Carlton, and don't cry for me, Argentina, because I definitely dated and I definitely had my playtime. But I did not get into a relationship because I never felt like anybody that I came across in that 9-year period was deserving of me. Now, listen, that might come off cocky to some of y'all. Listen, that you got to know your name, niece. I had to learn my name. And see, once you know your name, there's just certain things you just refuse to punish yourself by putting yourself in another bad relationship. I refuse to punish myself by doing that. Amen. If you have not gotten Book of Jewels, you better get on over there and get you a copy of Book of Jewels, okay? But with that being said, by the time I got to Carlton, I had rid myself of all of that fear. Come on, Evita. I had rid myself of all of that fear, right? So, like, I don't walk around wondering how long the relationship is going to last for us. Now, of course, my goal is for it to last decades, but I have no control over that. I really don't. All I can do is bring my best self to the relationship. That's it. And all I can hope is that he'll bring his best self to the relationship. But what I'm very clear about, niece, is if the relationship should fall apart, that I can recover from another heartbreak. I can recover. Now, I'm not saying that I'm not going to be hurt, and I'm not saying that I'm not going to be upset. But what I'm saying to you is I'm not going to collapse under the pressure. Like I'm gonna glean from it. I'm gonna pray about it and say, dear God, what is it that you would have me learn from this? What am I supposed to learn from this? How am I supposed to grow from this? You know what I'm saying? I can recover from another heartbreak. I can. And see, that's part of the reason why many people, and I'm not gonna say you guys because I don't know what your relationship status is, but I believe part of the reason why a lot of people are not in relationships is because they are so afraid, or why they won't completely open up in a relationship. It's because they're so afraid that they can't recover, from another heartbreak. You understand what I'm saying? And you can. And you can. And yes, a broken heart still beats. It is scary starting a new relationship. It absolutely is. And Krista, I'm not saying to you, go out here and just give your heart to the first motherfucker that asks for it. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying go out here and just give it out. A motherfucker should earn you. Let me get another bottle of water on that. he or she needs to earn you. Amen. You don't just give it away. They should earn you. But what I'm saying is you have to recognize, you got to recognize when your walls are coming up. You got to recognize when your walls are coming up. And here's what I have said to people so many times, because people always say, well, how do you know if somebody is good? Here's the thing. You have to grade people by their heart. How do they move in the world? You understand what I'm saying? So for me, I'm just going to use myself as an example because I know y'all ain't never experienced none of this. But like for me, if Carlton and I didn't work anymore, right? Let's just say we decided the relationship wasn't going to work. Part of my trust that I have for him is that he's he's a kind person. So he's not the kind of person that's going to drag like if the relationship stopped working, he ain't the kind of person that's going to drag my heart all around the mud and post it all on social media. See, some of y'all in these relationships with these knucklehead ass people, they don't even have a good heart. They don't even have no good soul. They don't even have good energy, good chi. See, y'all fucking with the wrong kind. See, you got to find somebody who has a good spirit. Because if the relationship should stop ending, they'll still be good. They'll be gentle with your heart. They'll be gentle with your feelings, with your emotions. You understand what I'm saying? So that's part of how you start to grade people. You grade people by how they move in the world. How are they with their family members? How are they with their friends? Are they thoughtful? Are they considerate? Are they kind? Like all those kind, you get some of these nothing ass men and women. They self-involved, self-focused, self-interested, and you think they're gonna take care of you? Here's an example, ladies. You involved with a man right now who got children by somebody else, and you know that Negro ain't paying child support. What you think he's gonna do when y'all break up? Y'all may not have no kids together, but if he's the kind of person that would not pay child support for no reason other than the fact that he ain't with the children's mother, that lets you know right there the kind of person he is. You got to open your eyes and pay attention. Pay attention to the signs, niece. Pay attention to the clues. Amen. Those are the kinds of things that you have to pay attention to. Is your partner somebody that would gladly help his friends or family members? Hey, you need help with that? Oh yeah, I'll help you. Like what is his soul saying? What is his soul saying or her soul saying to you? But I don't think we don't pay enough attention to shit like that. We pay too much attention to, well, we have nice looking kids together. Oh, I think we'd be a good power couple. We get to paying attention to what people do on paper. Amen. We get to paying attention to what people what they got. Oh, he got a nice car. Oh, he dressed his ass up. Fuck all that shit. I can take you to the mall and help you and point you in the direction of some other clothes. But you can't change that black soul. What is that soul saying, Connie? What is that soul saying? You understand what I'm saying? She said, yes, my son's dad didn't give me any child support in the beginning, but he got married and his wife was like, oh, no, sir. I started getting paid after he met her. See, that's what I'm trying to say. You see what I'm saying? Yes. Who's this? Lady Red, notice the patterns, not the potential in the mate. Yes, because what good is your hope when their hope is to be who they are? That's my friend Daniel Brown who said that. What good is my hope when your hope is to be who you are? If you trifling, you trifling. I can't dream a bigger dream for you than you dream for yourself. See, and here's the other thing. Some of y'all, you grading people on there today. You're grading people on the, oh yeah, he works over at such and such, he ain't doing well. But you got to see a person's ambition and their drive. And I'm not saying that they just sitting around dreaming. He also hustling. He or she is also hustling. Let me tell you a very quick story. A friend of mine told me just the other day, and I'm not going to tell you what friend because I don't know who knows who, and I don't know who might see this video. But she just told me this story the other day. She has a colleague that's very successful. Do you hear what I'm telling you? Her colleague is very successful. She makes almost $300,000 a year. A black woman needs. She makes almost $300,000 a year. She bought her first place. You already know where the story is going. She started dating this guy, this black guy. He's an artist. He makes furniture needs. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. If you're making furniture and you got yourself a website or you really hustling, you going to furniture shows and you understand what I'm saying. He make furniture. He ain't got near website. My friend was like, well, send me his website. She being nosy. She said, send me his website. I want to see what kind of stuff he got, knowing damn well she wasn't looking for no furniture. So anyway, she goes on the website. Why it says under construction? The shit still says under construction. The shit been saying under construction forever. He done moved into this lady's house. Now, see, I done told y'all about these Mary J. Blige stories where, you successful, you got your shit, you standing on your own, and then all of a sudden, you meet some old no good, nothing ass man, and then all of a sudden you let him move into your shit and you add him to your house. He ain't got no job. And listen, her job requires that she travels a lot, right? So she going over to she done been to Japan and guess who tagging along? His broke ass, because he ain't got no job. So he traveling with her. Of course, he ain't got to pay for no hotel. He ain't got to pay for no hotel because he's staying with her. And, she paying for their vacation. I mean, they just taking all these elaborate vacations. Hold on. Hold on, this Carlton, I'm sorry. So she has to go out of the country sometimes for work. He go tagging his ass along, flying with her. But then they also pay for, well, she also pays for other vacations for them to go on. He ain't paying for nothing because he ain't got no money. And he living in her house. And all my friend can wonder is, oh, I hope she didn't add him to her house. I hope she didn't put his name on her house. He ain't paying no mortgage. But see, this is what, so again, Paige from Married at First Sight is no different from this woman. It still points back to self-worth, knowing your worth, knowing your name. You understand what I'm saying? Oh, somebody just ordered Book of Jewels. What's up? Ohoyo? Is it Ohoyo? I think that's how you say it. Thank you, Ohoyo. But so it's the same thing. It's just a different scenario. And so I don't give a damn if he good in the sack or not. See what I'm talking about? So is he good in the sack or extremely attractive? I don't know. But the point is, if you ain't helping to pay some of these bills around here, I could have just been fucking you on the side. You didn't have to move in. I mean, if anybody's interested in the truth, he didn't need to move in for that. He could have just been a little pickle on the side. You know how you got a little pickle on the side of your sandwich? He could have just been a little pickle on the side. Why he need to move in for that? She could have just rang him up every now and then. Hey, what you doing tonight? Oh, I was going to stop by. But see, and I said to my friend when we were talking about this, I said, that's the thing. And I literally said this to my friend the other day. I said, see, that's a part of what I think my work is. My work in the world is. Because there's no accident that most of you watching are women or gay men, right? There's no secret. There's no accident to that. And I really feel like what I said to my friend was, that's what I want to try to teach women, is that you were smart enough, savvy enough to build your own business or create this life for yourself where you've bought your own home and you've established yourself. in your career or whatever. But you need to have that same kind of smarts when it comes to love, to your relationship, right? But for some reason, women, and she and I would talk, she was just like, look at him, talking about I'm not gay no more. But, but for some reason, women throw all of that out. Not all women, but for some reason, she's beautiful. My friend says she's beautiful. I've never met her. My friend says she is drop dead gorgeous. She's naturally beautiful. She don't have all that extra stuff. She says she's naturally beautiful. Nice body. She said like she's like model-esque, like she looked like she could be a model. But she said, but I don't understand what that is. She said it has to be low self-esteem. And I said, I don't know if it's always low self-esteem though. Sometimes maybe that's a portion of it for some women, but I don't always think it's that. I think it's the way that we teach girls from the time that they're young, how to date, how to see relationships, how to see love. And it's almost like we directly and indirectly teach girls that you need to be approved by a man. And it's almost like just to have something, just to hold on to a piece of a man, even if he's, and hear me when I say this. I'm not saying at all if you are a woman and you're making $300,000 that you can't date a man that's making 50. I'm not saying that at all. I'm not saying that if you are a woman that makes more than your man that you shouldn't be with him. That is not what I'm saying. So don't confuse what I'm saying. What I'm saying is this man that she's with is not working. He's living off of her. He has no drive, and it's just like he doesn't have to because she hasn't raised the bar. My point is, I just think sometimes women just lower their standards for a man. I just feel like the women sometimes will lower the bar. And it's not just women. Let me see what the Gemini lady said. She said, some women believe it's better to have a piece of a man than no man at all. When you know what you bring to the table and don't be afraid to sit it solo until someone deserving comes along. That's it. Yes. And she has not required it. She hasn't required. Look at wisdom. Look, our resident lesbian. Tell me, what does she need a girlfriend? You know what? She's trying to flip the lady. Look, one thing at a time. We're trying to get this man from up under her. But anyway, but I do think in some instances, women, you will date down. You'll date a man that hasn't earned you, and you go out of your way trying to pacify his ego. Some of you go out of your way to try to pacify his ego. And what I mean by that is you make him your manager, Mary J. Blige. You add him to your house because you don't want him to feel like, you leaving him behind, and you want him to feel secure. Fuck that. He need to come to you as stable mentally and as whole as possible. Like, you can't be doing this stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's why women do it. It's almost like you guys go out of your way to prove to these men that you are a ride or die kind of chick. And you're just like, okay, well, hey, I got your back. You letting him fuck up your credit. You letting him fuck up your credit. You co-signing for cars and shit. Paying off his back child support. Because you want him to go out of the country with you. When you owe back child support, they'll put a hold on your passport and you can't leave the country. So some of y'all paying. Look, I know women that have paid up their child support, paid up a man's child support. Look at Alicia. I ain't riding or dying for nobody. Fuck that ride or die shit. But you just gotta listen. You gotta be smart, but you also gotta be willing to adjust. You gotta be willing to grow, and not think that every person that comes in your life for a relationship is there to hurt you. Understand what I'm saying? So be mindful of that. Just be smart in what you do. Trust your instincts. Trust your instincts. Like, again, going back to Paige, Her instincts. Remember, the producer said to her, well, what were you thinking when you came in here? What was your decision when you came in here? Now, all of a sudden, because he done poured his heart out to you on the couch, now all of a sudden you second guessing your instincts. You got to pay attention to your instincts. Thank you, Gemini lady. I'm not going to say your government name. I won't say your government name. I sometimes forget, and I was almost say your government name, but I ain't gonna say it this time. But you got to trust your instincts. And here's the thing that my girl Oprah used to say all of the time: doubt means don't. If there's any doubt, the answer. Oh my God. Oh, Kimberly. Thank you, niece. Oh my God, girl, I'm about to shout. I'm about to run around this house. It says, happy belated birthday. I will always support you. Love you. Thank you so very much. That was so sweet. Thank you so very much. But doubt means don't. If your instincts, your spirit is telling you, don't do that. Well, I didn't say your full government name. If your instincts are telling you no, then don't do it. Then don't do it. It's okay. But see, sometimes, again, women, I think, they won't put their foot down because they're afraid that the relationship is so fragile. And then that man's going to say, well, I thought you were supposed to have my back. You supposed to have. No. It shouldn't conflict with who you are. Look at Nosy. Look at Nosy. One-on-one kind of a guy. Send me a Cash App, and then I'm going to tell you about what you sent. He's talking about how much did she send. He knows. Thank you, Krista Dancy. Thank you for the super chat. That's the first super chat for the night. Hey, girl. Hey. Yes, that's a great quote from Oprah. She says, doubt means don't. And that's not just for relationships, people. That's with anything. That could be you driving home and your spirit tell you don't stop at the grocery store, but you stop anyway, and then you get robbed or you get into a car accident. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like that's your instincts. That's God speaking to you. Doubt means don't. If you're walking through a parking deck and something says, you need to turn around and go the other way. Pay attention to your instincts. Niece. But listen, we are right at an hour. Let me get up off of here because I got some orders that need to go out tomorrow. And I want to finish watching A Million Little Things. When I tell you they doing their good writing on A Million Little Things and on And This Is Us. But wait a minute, before I get up here, let me tell you about Queen of the South. Baby, that Teresa Mendoza is not to be played with. That Teresita. When I tell you that is my show, and I think this is the last season for that too. Look, she talking about, hold up, I'm just getting in here. Well, listen, niece, anybody tell you to come in here late? She talking about, my hair ain't dry yet. Thank you, Lorianne. This Is Us is my show. Yes, your spirit is your natural GPS. That's God whispering to you. That's God's direct contact to you. That's how he guides us. But you have to pay attention, and you have to quiet the voices in the world, your mother, your best friend, your co-workers. Quiet the voices in the world and listen to the voice of God. God is always speaking. We're just not always listening. And on that note, have an amazing night. I appreciate you guys for supporting me, for holding me down. I appreciate it. Thank you for supporting the books, the greeting cards, just watching the live, just liking the video, just subscribing to the videos. I truly, truly appreciate you. Tomorrow is Friday. I might pop on here tomorrow. We'll see what happens. Amen. Bye.